promoted.
Andrew Williams.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I'll take a call on behalf of New Zealand First in the Game Animal Council Bill. And Mr Speaker, sometimes I do wonder if I'm sitting in the same select committee, because some of the comments that have been made today, I'm supporting you, Maggie Barry. Don't knock me. Don't knock me. But I do wonder, having gone to Christchurch and being in a packed room in Christchurch with interest from all over the game animal sector, from recreational people to commercial people to people involved in all aspects of it, I do wonder whether all the members here today who have spoken actually were at that particular hearing and did hear from the submitters. Because, quite frankly, Mr Speaker, this does bring together all the people who have an involvement in big game animals in this country. And I look back today, just to reference that, on the website of the Establishment Committee, the New Zealand Game Animal Council Establishment Committee. And it says on there that back in 2007, a ministerial panel looked into future options for managing game animals and recommended the formation of a big game hunting council, as it was originally intended. The Establishment Committee was formed representing hunters and game animal managers. It was to have regard to the environmental effects of deer, tahr, chamois or chamois and wild pigs. It was to relate to the hunting, farming and management of those animals, including recreational hunters, commercial hunters, farmers and the public in general. Game animal numbers needed to be controlled for conservation reasons. So that was the basic premise of, back in 2007, the ministerial panel recommending the establishment of that committee. It was given terms of reference, and the terms of reference, the main ones were: the Establishment Committee would encourage participation in hunting and farming of deer, chamois, tahr and wild pigs. It would coordinate hunting activities to reduce conflicts. It would establish agreed national standards for hunting activities, and it would advocate for the interests of its membership to the Minister of Conservation and to the public generally, and the final one, to advise the Minister on matters relating to the management of big game animals in New Zealand. So, pretty clear terms of reference for the Establishment Committee. The Establishment Committee originally consisted of 5 representatives who represented recreational deer hunters, pig hunters, commercial deer hunters, guiding services to recreational hunters, and deer farming and safari park operators. Those were the original 5. This Game Animal Council Established Committee then went on and spent the last, we're now 2013, so the last 6 odd years developing this through the whole process with widespread consultation across New Zealand with all those involved and affected, and including in the areas of conservation and with the Department of Conservation, environmentalists, fish and game, all sorts of other areas. As a result, the first bill, when it was first brought to this House, had various angles on it which New Zealand First initially had some difficulties with. So we were quite happy when we saw that it was going to go to a select committee and be really, really thrashed out. And it was. And I was most impressed that as a result of the select committee process, we really were able to get into it, get some much better outcomes from it, address many of the concerns, particularly concerns that were coming out of some of the environmental and conservation areas regarding this, to address the concerns of the recreational hunters in tandem with the commercial hunters. And at the end of the day, it was very, very pleasing to be in the same room with so many of these people who were finally starting to see eye to eye with each other and seeing the value and the scope that this Game Animal Council would finally have to cover the interests of all those. And as a result of that, it was recommended, of course, and agreed that the committee would end up with a membership of between 9 and 11 members to ensure that there was much wider representation across all interested parties, and that it would have a chair that was capable of chairing it, who would have skills in the area of conflict interest and be able to resolve issues and bring parties together, and as a result, in this bill, it does state that the chair will be required to have those skills to bring all the parties together. So, Mr. Speaker, it does concern me that there are members in this House today who say that recreational has been left out and ignored. That is not the case, not the case at all. Quite clearly, the term hunting covers all aspects of hunting, whether it be recreational, whether it be commercial, whether it be guided services for recreational hunters, or whether it be the industry side of deer farming and wild deer recovery and that sort of thing, which overlaps into our deer farming industry and the like. So I believe, Mr. Speaker, at the end of the day, we have achieved some good legislation here. It's significantly different to the original legislation that came in the House, but as a result, I believe, of a good process which saw over 600 submissions, a good process that heard very, very good oral submissions and very good representatives of so many sectors coming to the Select Committee and putting their views, which were taken on board by the members of Parliament, or at least taken on board by the members of Parliament who listened, but obviously not by some who didn't listen. And as a result of this, I think this legislation is a good piece of legislation now, and New Zealand First will be supporting it. We like the idea also that it has a 3-year review period, so anything that perhaps has been missed, or where there could be still some fine-tuning, some tweaking, some areas that may still be assisted as a result, that within the 3-year period we would like to see that occur. So, Mr. Speaker, New Zealand First commends this bill to the House.
Maggie.